today's topic, which is iOS gets a facelift. Okay, so last June we introduced package categories, and they're a big hit, and people have been using them, not necessarily as with the colored buttons that you see there, but package categories were very popular. And an issue that remained, and the comment was made at the time, that package categories didn't work too well on the phone. It was clunky, they didn't fit well, they didn't work too much on the phone. So I don't know, it was maybe about October last year, if not earlier, we were talking amongst ourselves and saying, look, we should do something about package categories on the phone. And from there, we were saying, okay, we should maybe get iOS to work better on the phone, period. Forgetting even package categories, just making better use of the phone. From there, we thought we could probably do better with iOS desktop as well. There's a lot of empty space, which has always been a bit of a complaint. We're not really maximizing the space we've got available when it is available. On the phone, you don't have much space, but on desktop you do, and we don't make use of it. And we started addressing a whole lot of things. And we had promised, and we'd already put the wheels in motion to do like a customization sort of wizard to help people who, when they're customizing a product, just to make that experience better, to make that experience one that they can't sort of jump over and then call you and say, oh, I didn't even know we could customize the product. So all that ended up being starting from trying to make package categories work better on the phone to basically a facelift for iOS. And we've come up with what we're going to show you today. So for a start, now this is the shop. This is the new shop. Rather than see the packages, we've still got the categories. Rather than see the packages in a list, vertical list as per se, when we've got the space, we can see package nodes like that, 4 across, maximum of 4 across, and as however many down as needed. In this category, I've got 8 packages, so I'm getting 2 rows of 4. 4 is the maximum. Even if you've got a huge monitor, you're not going to see more than 4. They'll just get bigger if you've got more space. Keeping in mind also that my monitor, I've got it on quite a low resolution to make sure, because that's what the screen gets recorded at. Now, 4 is the maximum, and it is responsive. You see, if you go much smaller, you end up with just 1, which is sort of what you see in the phone, and things collapse and the categories are now in a menu. As you give it more room, and we grab a handle there, eventually get to 2 across, then 3 across, and then when you've got the space, 4 across. So there's your first point of difference, in that the packages are displayed across the screen, making much more use of the screen when you've got the space to do so. You'll also notice a couple of things here. In my example, I have turned off images and backgrounds in this view, in the shop view. We'll see them in the next step. For me, I like this clean look where I'm just seeing packages, so the emphasis is a bit more on, as a customer, I come in here and say, oh, which package looks nice, and I click the package I want, and then I select my images and backgrounds. If you prefer to see the images and backgrounds in the traditional film strip across the top, you can do so. I've turned it off for my example, but I know there'll be people who still want to have the images across the top and the backgrounds across the top, and you can do that. So don't fear that you have lost these film strips. If you want to see them, you can. You see it's exactly the same scenario. You've still got the packages 4 across, and we've also got the images and film strip, image strip and the background strip, which you can hide if you want to. For today, I'm not going to work on that site. I'm going to work on this site where I've got them off. So the other thing you'll notice here is, apart from the packages and their package title and their description and their price, you don't see an add to cart button. There's no customize button. It's as clean as a whistle. Mum comes in and browses through the packages and, will hopefully choose one or more that she likes and have a deeper look. So let's do that. Let's jump in a little bit further. Look, let's start with the magnets. So you see a package you like, click on it. It opens in this environment, which we are calling the workbench, the package workbench. Let's pause a second here. You're seeing the package template, nice and big. It's the same package template as you saw before. Okay, so close that, click on this. The package template opens up in this workspace. The dimensions and the proportions of this workspace we can customize for your site. I've got mine set at whatever, and it's what we call the golden ratio, 1 to 1.6, and that's what we'll default it to for you, but the aspect of this workbench can be changed. Okay, so we've got the package template here, the images across the top, and a couple other things you can see that's different. You've got a begin customize button. There's still no add to cart button. Clicking on that package template or clicking on the zoom button gives you a very nice big view of that package template, of that preview of what's in front of you. So no more complaints that things are too small, because you can see them nice and big. Another thing that you see straight away here that's a little bit new, notice the prompt text. I'm not going to go back and do all the theory of prompt text, but enter your first name as you'd like it to appear. So the template here has got the classic @ first name, which makes it promptable, and she can change it. And you know that this is old hat prompt text. Notice something different here. It's pre-filled already with her first name. In the past, up until this version of iOS, that would have been empty. It would have used the first name, and she could certainly change it, but now it pre-fills it with the data, if there is data. So she had data in the first name field, obviously, it showed it. And of course, she can change it if she wants. So there's one thing that's new straight away with prompt text. If there's already data in the field that you're prompting them for, it will show them that data. They can change it, or they can leave it as it is. Okay, so, but we will talk a bit more about prompt text in another example a bit further down the line. Of course, you can change your images as per always, and you've still got this view, full screen view, and the film strip view if you want to come in there. That's the same as what you're used to from inside the shop. Now, before I hit begin customize, let's talk a little bit more about the package templates. Let me go to different packages. Okay, so these are packages in the true sense of the word. We've got 4 build your owns and 4 packages across the top. Again, click on a package. You get the package template nice and big. You know about package templates, and we can start customizing it. But even before that, on the right-hand side, we've got her images and her backgrounds. Here's already something you can do now, which you couldn't do in the previous version. In the previous version, sure, in the main shop, if you had the film strip across the top, you could choose an image, choose a background, and it would update all your packages with that selection. You couldn't do that on an individual package basis. You couldn't do this. You couldn't do this and this, and the whole thing would change. So even though this package has now, I think it's got 8 or 9 products, 7 or 8 products, we've been able to customize them with pose and background selection in one hit without even hitting the customize button, without even hitting begin customizing button. We've been able to customize every product within that package straight away without even having to hit the begin customize button. When we do that, we'll be able to customize each product individually, and we'll come to that. So again, hang on to that thought, and the zoom is showing us the customized version of the package template. Let me close that. Have a look at the build your own, the create your own packages at the bottom. There's a 1 sheet through to a 4 sheet. I'll go to that one first. So this is the 4 sheet. Notice the wording, click the customize button below. That's cool. That makes sense. If it's not obvious enough for them that they have to click begin customize, you can put that same instruction on your package template. That makes sense. It doesn't make so much sense here though. In the shop, that package template is saying click the customize button below. Now, as I look at that here and now, there is no customize button below. It's a minor thing. I mean, if I was mum or dad ordering, sure, I would just automatically click on the package and would not be an issue. However, it's not quite correct for this view to say click the customize button below when there isn't one. Let's have a look at the other build your owns, the 1 sheet. I'll select that. Have a look now. The package template here has click below to configure, whereas in the shop it didn't. We've got 2 different views of the same package template, and that applies to these ones as well. Click below to configure each sheet makes sense here, but in the shop it said configure each sheet. Configure each sheet. So where I'm getting at, and what you've guessed by now, is you can have different versions of a package template, one that will show in the shop and one that will show here in the package workbench. Let me quickly show you where you make that. And bring your own one, for example. Okay, so there's the bring your own single sheet package. That's the view that you saw in the shop. You're used to that. We've now got what we call a customized version of it. You make it, when you make it, the option down here, make customized version, would be visible. Because I've already made it, it's now grayed out. And the customized version is that. So the customized version is what is shown in the workbench, in the package workbench. The normal version is what's shown in the shop. The customized version is completely optional. You don't have to make one, and your current package templates will work, and you'll see them in both spots. But if the need arises where you would like a slightly different view in the workbench compared to the shop, sure, then you can have these 2 different versions of the package template. Okay, from my point of view, I wouldn't make them too different. I mean, it's one thing to go from there to there. It's still obviously the same thing, but if you made it totally different, I think as a mum who's could get confused. So I clicked on this package, but now that I'm here, it looks totally different, and they'd get confused and call you. So that's just my theory. Don't make them too different, but in an example like mine, it works, I think, to just have 2 different versions where you want slightly different look between the 2. Okay, so let's now come back in here and talk about the customization process. We'll go to package 1, back in here. Okay, one of the biggest complaints you got and then passed on to us was that when you were offering customization, people would not know they had to do it. In the old iOS, they would, well, bad example here, but yeah, not even see the customize button, or when they came in here, it was a bit clunky. And if you had lots of options, you'd have to scroll through them, very easily missed. And then they'd calling you saying, we didn't even know you could customize. Now they can't do that because there's no add to cart button. There's no add to cart button until they customize for a customizable package. So it's quite obvious, begin customize. When we do that, what the hell is that now? This is their first product. Their first product is an 8x10. Now, that's not what they're going to get printed. Obviously, you're not going to print that. So what are they seeing now? What is this? your products themselves can now have a different version, which is shown in this view in the package workbench. Just like the package templates can have a version that is displayed here, your products can have a version that is displayed here. That 8x10 template, which you're going to print if they order this, has a version which is displayed here in the customization section. Let me open this template and show you. Because I've got to find it. Yeah. Okay, that's what you're printing, straight 8x10, very obvious. Customized version. Now don't confuse it with a customer version, and I'll come to that in a moment. This new thing called customized version, and again, you can make a customized version. And I've already made it, hence the option here is grayed out, make customized version. This is my customized version. This is the version they're seeing when they are customizing, and you can decorate it as you like. And you can see how I've decorated and given them an idea of how they may use it. So your layout templates, your Neopak layout templates themselves can have the printing version. They've always been able to have a customer version that you know about. A customer version is the one that's used in the package template, or if you're not using package templates and you've got customer versions that's used for rendering to show you the preview. Now we have got this customized version, and the only place you see it is here. And of course, you can customize as you like. Still no add to cart button, because they have to waltz through. They have to step through the different products before they get the opportunity to customize. This package has got 2 8x10s. So this is the second one, and she may want a different image for that. Now they have to step through them. We're not forcing them to make selections. We're not going to do that. I mean, she may want exactly as they see it there. Again, a customized version of the 5x7 templates, the 257s on a sheet. This is the customized version of that template. The 4x5s. The wallets. Okay, so here we've got some prompt text. This time it is empty because the template is not saying @ first name. It's got @ preferred name or @ name change. We've done this here, so they have the option of no name at all. If we had put @ first name, they would get their first name or could change it. By having the prompt field something that doesn't have data in it, it's empty. So if they don't put any data in it, they're going to get wallets with no personalization, but she can personalize them if she wants. Let's move right along. The comp doesn't have any customization. You can't change the image in a comp or the background. So things are grayed out there. The digital file. Again, this digital file is a portrait-based product, so therefore it's got a template. Therefore, we were able to make a customized version, and that's what they see. And finally, when they get through all the steps, they've seen all their customization that they've done. Now they can click Add to Cart. Of course, they can reset it. They can go back. I can reset. I can go back and start again. Now, you don't have to click next. You can actually click the little stepping numbers, and these never go off screen. Unlike the old version, if you had lots and lots of options, you'd have to scroll to see options 9, 10, 11, and 12. If we had options 9, 10, 11, and 12 here, or products 9, 10, 11, and 12, they would fit in that space. So you're always going to see that exactly how many products you've got, except not quite. I draw your attention to product 7, digital. There was one other product which a lot of you offer with your digital products, and that's a copyright release. It's in the offer, it's in the package, it's a template, but we're not seeing it here. You probably don't want them to see that, that copyright. There's no point. They're not going to customize it. They're not going to choose an image. You'd like them to jump over that particular product. And so here is as a new feature, the ability to jump over the products when you're customizing them. How do we do that? Let me go to TS Admin. Go to the offer. There's the package. This is the package we've just seen, 2 8x10s through to the digital and a copyright release. But we've jumped over that. And we do that by going into the edit properties or product options. And there's a new option at the bottom, step over this product. And that does exactly as the wording says. You jump over it. You do not see that in the customize sequence. Step over this product. Okay, and that's why we did not see the copyright release. Now, let's go back to, I don't know, the 8x10. What happens if you zoom this particular thing? Now you see the customer version. It doesn't make sense. There's no real need to just see a bigger version of this, of what you're seeing there. That's already pretty cool, pretty big enough. When you zoom on a product, you see the customer version of it. The customer version, remember, is also displayed in the package template. See, my mouse is on the left. So the customer version is what was in the package template, and the customer version is what you see when you zoom on a product. Now, I could have, if I wanted to, made a different customer version, but I'm figuring at this point you want to zoom in and see what you're ordering in more detail or bigger. So you're seeing the customer version. In the absence of a customer version, you see the printing version. Nothing's changed in that behavior. That's behavior you're already familiar with. In the absence of a customer version, you see the printing version everywhere. Same rules apply there. Okay. So the other thing you might be wondering, what this icon is up there, that's your package blurb. At any point, you can hit that and get a package blurb. The same package blurb that you've described, defined in TS Admin in a normal place, it's activated, shown with that button, okay? And then it's out of the way. Again, personally, I feel that the package blurb sort of becomes less relevant a little bit, because you see it there. At any point, you can bring up the package blurb, because that sort of information, the information that most people put in there, you're going to see here anyway. You've got different ways of conveying the information that was in the package blurb by using these customized versions of your products. So the emphasis on the package blurb has become a little bit less, in my opinion. That you may disagree with me. All right. Let's move to a different key. I've preloaded some keys. We'll see some other examples. Oh, let's just see what this guy shows us. Okay. In this particular job, it is a real job. Thank you, Brad, for sending it to me. There's no poses. It's a single pose shoot, and no backgrounds as such. The background has been selected on Grow for everybody. But there is some customization we can do. And you can see, again, there are some prompt fields, and his first name has been pre-filled, which of course he can change. No add to cart button. We're going to force him to step through the products and customize them, or at least look through them and decide not to customize them before he hits the add to cart button. So let's just go through. Okay, the 8x10. That's a customized version. If you want to zoom in on that, you get the customer version, which is just a simple 8x10. The 4x5s. Trader card front. And here we've got some options. So these are your options that you're quite used to, the item designs, which get offered as options, and we can change the design of the trader card front. They're not huge differences, but you can see the design is changing as I click the different options. And we've got the prompt text, and he can change his name to something other than Harrison if he prefers. Okay, zoom in on this. Remember, you'll see the customer version, if there is one. If not, you'll see the printing version. Oh, I may not have anything. Oh no, that's the printing version of the customer, of that template of the trader card front. And you can see Harry, his personalized text Harry across there. Keep going. That's his trader card back. I'm going to leave that for the moment. His memory mate, digital download, and we're jumping over the copyright release again. I showed you how to do that. The composite has no customization available. Okay, that's cool. I like it. I'm going to hit add to cart, and it's going to yell at me. It's going to yell at me because the age, position, and shirt number fields are required. That is something new with prompt text. You can mark your prompt text fields as being mandatory. They have to fill something in there. Otherwise, it will not let them add it to the cart. Simple as that. It yells at you, shows you that toasty, and also puts in red, this is required. So I'll reset that. I'll zoom to where were they? Yeah, product 4, and fill it in. This describes me to a T. What's my shirt size? Extra large nowadays. Okay, so now when I go through, I can add to cart, it will let me because I filled in those mandatory fields. That's something new and groundbreaking, and I know it's going to make a lot of you people who do that very happy to have those fields as mandatory. And I think pre-filling the fields where appropriate with data is also quite a nice touch. All right, so how did we achieve that mandatory field? Let me show you the template. I'll open that particular job. And go to that template. The template report is your friend. Trader card back. No. Oh, not so friendly after all. I can't remember what they're called. Trader back. Here we go. Okay, so that's the printing version of the trader card backs. See, they're calling in items trader card backs. That's the customer version. So that's what you saw when you zoomed on the product. And this is the customized version, which in this case happens to be identical. I've made the customer version and the customized version identical. Customized version is what you see in the workbench. Customer version is what you'll see on your package template and what you'll see when you zoom in your workbench. Those fields, by simply, for example, the uniform, position, and age field, we made them mandatory by putting an asterisk. It might be a little bit small for you to see, but you see that asterisk at the end? You need to do that to make the fields mandatory, okay, wherever the situation is. We've got conditional text in there as well. Of course, you didn't have to have conditional text. In fact, let's go over here. No conditional text here. It's just add question mark uniform X. That's what the field happens to be called. And putting that makes it mandatory. So retrospectively, if you've got templates already made and you want to make some of those prompt fields mandatory, go into them, put the asterisks in there. That is the best way. We thought about other ways of doing it where perhaps you wouldn't need to modify the template, but each of those had issues with it. This is the best way. And you only have to do it once, of course, but you will have to go back, go into those templates and put in the asterisks if you want to make them mandatory. All right, let's move along because we're actually nearly done. I mean, we'll come to questions, but let's look at some of these other packages, see if any questions, you think of any questions or issues. Again, begin customization for these, and you see the options. Sheet 1, choose what you want. Sheet 2, choose what you want. Go that. Sheet 3, we're going to go for the memory mate. We're going to make that sheet a memory mate. And that's added. Have a look at the price. It's added $5. So that option is chargeable. Chargeable options. We won't go into how you do that today because you either know it, or if you don't, come to the training in Las Vegas and we'll be going over that again as well. And then you get your finished view. If you want to zoom in on that, you can by just clicking on it, and you can add it to the cart if you so desire. What else have we got? Teams. These were done in Neo Group. Next week's seminar, when we do face recognition, we'll see how we actually name these groups in a matter of minutes using face rec, because that really is quite hooky. And add to cart straight away here. No customization is possible here. So we've elected to present that add to cart button straight away. So let's focus on that. I'll draw your attention to these 3 products. I've handled the stepping through and the customization in 3 different ways. Cast your mind back to the digital scenario where we were able to step over an individual product in a package. But let's now expand on that more globally to the whole package, Let's have a look at these 3. Here, we've got the add to cart button straight away, but it's also saying we can step through the products. This one, we've got add to cart without the step through. And here, we've got no add to cart, they need to step through. Why does that say step through products and not begin customization? That's a very good question. Because all they can do is step through them. There is no customization. We have turned customization off for all 3 of these products. Remember how you turn customization off at the package level? You, let me go to the offer. Okay. For any particular package, you go to filters, extras, and you can turn off customization. You can make a package non-customizable. Now we've got some extra options once you do that. So I'll come to them in a sec. But all 3 of these packages, we've turned off customization because there is none. We either don't want them to, or there is none. So we don't want them to, perhaps because we don't want to present items that don't make sense. There are items that are uploaded that would get offered to this 8x10, and we don't want that. Or we don't want them to change images and backgrounds here. Same with the download. We don't want them necessarily to, even if there were images and backgrounds, to change. So when you turn off customization globally at the package level, you've got different options. Let's zoom in on that. Go back to that offer. So the singles, Here they are. So the 8x10, non-customizable, and don't step through the products. So in that example, we've said don't customize the product, and there's no point stepping. We don't want them to step through it. There's no point, or we just don't want them to see the products. So that's the 8x10. Bang, add to cart. Okay, they'll be going straight to the cart with that option. The next one, the 11x14, we said non-customizable, but force them to step through the products. What do we mean by force? It's not customizable, but we're going to force them to step through. There's no add to cart button. By forcing them, we're saying if you want to see the add to cart button, you've got to step through the products. We want you to go look at the products. Maybe because you've designed a nice customized template and you just want them to show that nice bit of artwork, or for whatever reason you want them, or you think they may want to see that product level. So once again, with that particular option, force, no add to cart button until they've stepped through all the products, and then they can add it to the cart. The other option, you get both. You get the best of both worlds. And this one, the 5x7, let's have a look. We went non-customizable, offer to step through the products. So we're offering them, we're giving them the option to step through them if they want to, but they could add to cart straight away without stepping. Now, personally, curiosity killed the cat. If I saw that, I would be stepping through. Okay, and maybe we're doing that so they can see this particular customized version, which looks quite nice. And then once they've stepped through, they've got the add to cart, but they had it straight away too if they preferred that. Now, I laboured on that a little bit because I think it has implications, especially for the Aussies, and for anyone doing, say, identify ordering, and that's a particular case in Australia. For identify ordering, there's no images yet, so there's no point customizing in terms of them selecting an image. You never do green screen, so they're never going to choose backgrounds. You never have item options. So in other words, they've got nothing to customize ever. But you may want them to still step through the products. So if I go to, I need to empty my cart. I'm going to change to a different job to just show that point. Okay, we'll just, okay, so this is an identify job, as you saw. So obviously there's no images. That's not her image, that's a canned image. There's no product options, there's no backgrounds. They will still need to come into here and go there, and they see a nice big version of the package, which of course they can zoom in on even further if need be, if they want to. But they've got the add to cart button straight away, and you can see the blurb. On the other hand, you may want them to step through the products. They can hit add to cart at this point if you want, if they want, or they can step through the products. Now, I haven't made nice versions of these, so you're going to see that they don't quite make sense, but you get the idea that they'd be stepping through all their products if they want to, and then they can add to cart. And then the third one, we're forcing them to step through the products before they can add to cart, which I think in this example, identify ordering down under, probably won't use that, but you can if you want to. So there are 3 tools up your sleeve as when you don't want customization, how you can offer them the add to cart button or not, offer them to step through it or not. Let me consult my notes, because I reckon we're just about done, and then we can take any questions from Mark. I think that's pretty much it. So I will empty this cart again. come back to a different key, just looking at the add-ons here. So again, here could be the comp, no point having them step through the comp. They can go straight to add to cart. But seeing a nice big version of the comp is good. You may have also noticed, I hope you have noticed, the image quality, the whole quality of what you're seeing is better. The images are nicer, even when they're zoomed in, they're still a good quality. They're not pixely, they're not blurry. The graphics and the text all look nicer. And that is a function of A, what we've done with the site, and B, the new TSIOS that you'll use to upload, and I'll come to that. So here's an example of where we disabled image, because we've got all 4 images in this product, but they can still choose a background. So the backgrounds are still visible and she can still change her name. And this is the example I was looking for. Again, because all 3 of her images are already being used, we've elected in the offer to say no image customization required. You know where to do that, don't you? You do that for any particular product there. No image customization. That's what I would have selected for that particular package, which has the effect of turning off the background, the images in this view. But we can still choose a background for her.